The Cubs had a 3-game series against the Detroit Tigers, so we're going to look over all 3 of those games. We're going to look at what went right, what went wrong. All of that's happening soon on this episode of Cubs 360. What's up, Cubs fans? This is Jeff from Cubs 360. Thank you very much for tuning in to episode number 19 of the Cubs 360 podcast. If you're interested in this content, feel free to like and subscribe, and also follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X. So this is my series recap to the Detroit Tigers series, the second of 2 series recaps of the night. As most of you know, I'm doing my series recap marathon for the entire month of June, and along with this series, I went over the Washington Nationals series as well. So if you did not check that one out, you might as well want to do that as well. And here's the Tiger series recap for you as well. So we're going to start with game number 1 right now. And in the top of the first inning, Tarik Skubal. So this is an interesting topic here because he was actually slated to go against the Chicago White Sox the day earlier to wrap up their series. But the Cubs, as you know, are a lot better than the White Sox, and this could potentially, and I know I'm recording this in July, but this could very well be a World Series preview, and I'll have a lot more on that over the All-Star break. I'll have a lot of content coming out regarding all of that and where I see the Cubs as a playoff contender, but this could very well be a matchup that you could see in the Fall Classic. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but these 2 teams are top contenders. I'll just put it to you that way. So nonetheless, Tarik Skubal is pitching for the Tigers, and if you're the Tigers, it makes a lot of sense, right? So nonetheless, let's get to this recap right away. Ian Happ will fly out to center. Tucker will fly out to left, and Seiya Suzuki will strike out swinging. In the bottom of the first, Ben Brown pitching for the Cubs. Meadows will fly out to center. Torres grounds out to third, and Carpenter struck out swinging. In the top of the second, Kelly grounds out to short. PCA will fly out to left, and Swanson struck out swinging. In the bottom of the second, Green struck out swinging. Torkelson will hit a base hit to left. Keith will hit a base hit to right, and Torkelson will go to third. And Dingler will ground it into a double play. Keith is out at second. Dingler out at first to end the inning. In the top of the third, Nico Horner will ground it out to third. Turner will fly out to center. Shaw will reach on an infield single to third, and Happ struck out swinging. In the bottom of the third, McKinstry will hit a base hit to right. Javi Baez will strike out swinging. Cubs legend Javi Baez out there, just for those in the back of the room that don't know. McKinstry will steal second. Meadows will get walked. Torres struck out looking, and Carpenter struck out swinging. In the top of the fourth, Tucker will ground out to short. Suzuki struck out swinging, and Kelly fouls out to right. In the bottom of the fourth, Riley Green will strike out swinging. Torkelson will fly out to right, and Keith will fly out to left. In the top of the fifth, PCA will hit a base hit to center. Swanson will hit a double to left, and PCA is thrown out at home. And Nico Horner will fly out to center. Turner struck out swinging. In the bottom of the fifth, Dingler will strike out swinging. McKinstry grounds out to short. Javi Baez reaches on an infield single to third. Meadows will hit a base hit to center. Baez will go to third. And Gleyber Torres will hit a base hit to center, which will score Javi Baez. Meadows will go to third. And the scoreless tie is now broken. It is 1-0 in favor of the Tigers, and Carpenter will line out to right to end the inning. So we head to the top of the sixth now. Skubal still pitching for the Tigers, obviously. Matt Shaw will hit a double to left. Happ will ground out to third. Kyle Tucker will hit a double to right. Shaw will score to tie the game at 1 apiece. Suzuki flies out to center. Tucker will go to third, and Kelly struck out swinging. In the bottom of the sixth, Green will fly out to center. Torkelson will hit a home run to left center field to make it 2-1 Tigers. And Keith will fly out to center. Dingler will pop out to short. In the top of the seventh, PCA flew out to center. And Dansby Swanson pops out to first. Horner flies out to center. In the bottom of the seventh, McKinstry grounds out to second. Javi Baez will ground out to short. And Meadows will fly out to center. In the top of the eighth, Turner will hit a base hit to left. And John Birdie will run for Turner. Shaw will ground it to a fielder's choice to short. Birdie's out at second. And Shaw got caught stealing second on the play as well. So Ian Happ will hit a base hit to left. And Kyle Tucker will hit a base hit to right. And Happ will go to third. So you have a runner in scoring position in the eighth inning, and that is the end of Skubal's night, as Vest will go in for the Tigers and Suzuki flies out to right. In the bottom of the 8th, Cabrera pitching for the Cubs. Bush will go to first. Torres will fly out to center. Jones will hit for Carpenter, and he has a home run left center field to make it 3-1 to extend their lead. And Green will pop out to third. Torkelson will ground out to second. In the top of the 9th, with Vestal pitching for the Tigers, last licks for the Cubs. Perez will be in right field. Carson Kelly will fly out to right. PCA will hit a base hit to right. Swanson will ground to a fielder's choice to short, and PCA is out at second. And Swanson will go to second on a fielder's indifference, and Horner grounds out to short to end the game there. And the Chicago Cubs lose the first game of the series to the Tigers by a final score of 3-1. The winning pitcher, no surprise here, Tarek Skubal, 7 2/3 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 8 hits against, with 6 strikeouts. Loss goes to Ben Brown, 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs and 7 hits against, and he had 7 strikeouts. The save goes to Vest, his 10th of the year. And no surprise there. The Detroit Tigers, again, 3-1, and they're proving why they are one of the best teams in the league here. So I would say, for the most part, it was a pitching matchup. There were some runs scored here and there, obviously only 4 combined in this game, but nonetheless, a very good game. So that is game 1, and now we will head to game number 2. So for game 2, Holton will be pitching for the Tigers. Ian Happ struck out swinging. Kyle Tucker grounds out to short. Suzuki hits a home run to left field to make it 1-0. Cubs right away, and Swanson will fly out to left. Tyone pitching for the Cubs in the bottom of the first. Meadows will fly out to center. Torres will hit a base hit to right. Carpenter grounds out to Tyone, and Torres will go to second. And Green struck out swinging. In the top of the second, PCA struck out looking, and Montero will be now pitching for the Tigers. Nico Horner flies out to center. Bush will get walked, and Shaw grounds it into a fielder's choice to short. Bush is out at second. In the bottom of the second, Torkelson will fly out to right. Perez will fly out to right, and McKinstry flies out to left. In the top of the third, McGuire will fly out to center. Happ struck out looking, and Tucker struck out swinging. In the bottom of the third, Rogers will get walked. Sweeney will ground it into a double play, and Meadows will strike out swinging. In the top of the fourth, Suzuki struck out looking. Swanson fouls out to first, and PCA struck out looking. In the bottom of the fourth, Gleyber Torres will hit a base hit to center. Carpenter will fly out to center. Green will strike out swinging, and Torkelson will fly out to center. In the top of the fifth, Nico Horner will reach on an infield single to third, and Mike Bush will hit a home run to right. A 2-run shot to make it 3-0 Cubs, so they extend their lead. Matt Shaw will pop out to third. McGuire will ground out to first, and Happ will fly out to left. In the bottom of the fifth, Perez will ground out to second. McKinstry will triple to right. Rogers will reach on an infield single to third, and McKinstry will score to make it 3-1. Sweeney will pop out to first, and Meadows struck out swinging. In the top of the sixth, Tucker will ground out to second. Suzuki will line out to left, and Swanson will ground out to first. In the bottom of the sixth, Torres will foul out to right. Carpenter will foul out to third as well, and Green will strike out swinging. In the top of the seventh, PCA will hit a home run to right to make it 4-1 Cubs, so they get their 3-run lead back. Nico Horner will ground out to short. Bush will fly out to center, and then Matt Shaw hits a home run to make it 5-1 Cubs, and then McGuire will reach on a bunt single to third, and Happ will ground out to first. In the bottom of the seventh, Tyone still pitching for the Cubs. Torkelson will pop out to short. Perez will ground out to first, and McKinstry will line out to right. In the top of the eighth, Lee now pitching for the Tigers. Tucker will fly out to center. Suzuki will hit a home run to left to make it 6-1 Cubs. And then Swanson will ground out to second. PC flies out to center. In the bottom of the eighth, Thielbar pitching for the Cubs. Rogers will fly out to short. Jones will hit for Sweeney, and he hits a base hit to left. Meadows will also hit a base hit, this time to center, and Jones will go to third, so runners in the corners. Torres will pop out to second. Dingler will hit for Carpenter, and Keith hit for Dingler. And Palencia on the bump now for the Cubs as Meadows stole second. Keith flies out to center. In the top of the ninth, Brebbia pitching for the Tigers. Keith is a DH, and Baez will go to short. Nico Horner will ground out to second. Bush will strike out swinging, as well as Matt Shaw. So last licks for the Tigers in the bottom of the ninth with Palencia pitching for the Cubs. Green struck out swinging. Torkelson will hit a base hit to right. Perez will get walked, and Torkelson will go to second. McKinstry will strike out swinging, and Perez got picked off at first, and Palencia was pitching to Rogers during the pickoff. So that is the game. The Cubs tie the series in the second game of the series by a final score of 6-1. The winning pitcher in this game was Jameson Taillon, who went 7 strong innings with 1 earned run and 4 hits against, and the loss goes to Holton, who only went 1 1/3 innings pitched and he gave up 1 earned run and 1 hit. So my 3 stars for this game. Before I do, I want to give some honorable mentions to PCA, Matt Shaw, who both hit a home run, who both went 1 for 4. They did not crack the top 3 because my 3rd star in this game went to Jameson Taillon. I had to give some love to him, who went 7 innings, like I just said, with 1 run and 4 hits against. Mike Bush was my 2nd star, who went 1 for 3 with a home run and an RBI. And my 1st star, no question here as well, Seiya Suzuki, 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs. So that is game 2, and the Cubs have a chance to take the series against the Tigers in game number 3. So in game 3 of this series, so in game 1, it was tough enough for the Cubs having to go against Tarek Skubal. Well, they had to go against Jack Flaherty in this game. So Flaherty on the bump for the Tigers. Ian Happ will line out to right. Tucker struck out swinging, as well as Seiya Suzuki. In the bottom of the first, Cade Horton pitching for the Cubs. Meadows will hit a base hit to left. Torres will get walked, and Meadows will go to second. Carpenter will foul out to third. Riley Green struck out looking, and Torkelson will hit a double to center, which will score Torres and Meadows to make it 2-0 Tigers, and Keith will fly out to center. In the top of the second, PCA flew out to left. Kelly struck out swinging, and Bush struck out looking. So in the bottom of the second, Dingler will fly out to left. McKinstry will ground out to second, and Javi Baez will strike out swinging. In the top of the third, Dansby Swanson struck out swinging. Nico Horner will fly out to left, and Matt Shaw grounds out to short. In the bottom of the third, Meadows will line out to center. Torres struck out swinging. Carpenter reaches out an infield single to short. Riley Green will hit a base hit to left, which will send Green to second as well, and Carpenter will go to third, and Torkelson will pop out to short. In the top of the fourth, Ian Happ will get walked, as well as Tucker, so there's 2 runners on. Suzuki struck out looking, and PCA will hit a base hit to right, and he will go to second. Tucker will go to third, and Ian Happ is thrown out at home. Carson Kelly will get walked, so the bases are loaded, but Mike Bush lines out to center. So as we head to the bottom of the fourth now, Keith will get walked. Dingler will strike out swinging. McKinstry will ground out to second, and Keith will go to second. Javi Baez will ground out to short to end the inning. In the top of the fifth, Swanson will hit a double to left. Horner struck out looking. Matt Shaw will strike out swinging, and Ian Happ will ground out to first. In the bottom of the fifth, Brujan will go to second. Meadows flew out to left. Torres will hit a base hit to center. Carpenter will hit a double to right, which will send Torres to third. So you have 2 runners in scoring position. But then Riley Green will hit a base hit to left, which will score Torres and Carpenter, make it 4-0 Tigers. Torkelson struck out swinging, as well as Keith. In the top of the sixth now, Kyle Tucker struck out looking. Suzuki flew out to right, and PCA pops out to third. In the bottom of the sixth, Ryan Brazier now pitching for the Cubs. Dingler will ground out to third. McKinstry will pop out to short, and Javi Baez flew out to right. In the top of the seventh, Hannafy pitching for the Tigers, so Flaherty's game is over. Carson Kelly will line out to short. Bush will hit a base hit to left. Dansby Swanson will hit a base hit to center, and Bush will go to second. Brujan will foul out to left, and Shaw will line out to right. Flexen pitching for the Cubs in the bottom of the seventh. Meadows will ground out to second. Torres struck out swinging, and Carpenter hit a ground rule double. Perez ran for Carpenter, but Green flew out to center. In the top of the eighth, with Cannell pitching for the Tigers, Perez will go to right field. Ian Happ struck out looking. Kyle Tucker pops out to third, and Suzuki struck out swinging. In the bottom of the eighth, Flexen still pitching for the Cubs. Torkelson will hit a base hit to left. Keith will fly out to right, and Dingler struck out swinging. McKinstry will hit a base hit to right, and he will go to second. And Torkelson will go to third, but then Javi Baez flew out to center. Last licks for the Cubs in the top of the ninth. Vest pitching for the Detroit Tigers. PCA struck out swinging. Carson Kelly grounds out to second, and Bush flies out to left to end the game. So the Cubs lose the series finale by a final score of 4-0, and they lose the series only taking 1 out of the 3 from the Detroit Tigers. So the win obviously goes to Jack Flaherty, 6 innings strong, no earned runs against, but only 2 hits, and he had 9 strikeouts. The loss goes to Cade Horton, his first loss as a starter in the MLB. He went 5 innings pitched, gave up 4 earned runs, 7 hits, but he also had 6 strikeouts as well. So a bit of good and bad coming from the series. I do think there were a lot of wasted opportunities, especially with runners in scoring position and just runners on base in general. The Cubs just couldn't capitalize, and you just have to tip your cap to a team like the Detroit Tigers. They are the best team in the league record-wise for a reason, and when it comes to those advantages, you have to take advantage of it if you're the Cubs, because if you don't, you're going to have to pay the price, and that is exactly what happened in the series against the Detroit Tigers. They made too many mistakes, and they just didn't take opportunities when they could have, and that's the reason why they lost the series. With that said as well, the Cubs, I believe, won like 7 series in a row before the Detroit series. Obviously, that was snapped because the Tigers took 2 out of 3 from Chicago. So I'm not worried about the Cubs in general. However, again, this is like a real feel of like a team that is a legit World Series contender, and the Tigers, as you know, got hot at the end of the year last year to make the playoffs, and this is just a continuity. Obviously, they look like a legit World Series contender this year. So the Cubs actually get legit competition here, and overall, I would say they did well, and we'll see what happens moving forward for them. So this is my series recap for the Tiger series. I will continue my marathon with the Phillies and Pirates series tomorrow. With that said, give me your thoughts on this series recap, and if you did not check out the National Series recap, I'd recommend doing so as well. So this is all I have for this episode. If you're interested in the content, like and subscribe, follow us on Twitter at Cubs360X, and that's all I got to say here. So this is Jack from Cubs360, and as always, go Cubs go.